Friends in Christ, Pastor Brian here. This Sunday, October 30th, is Reformation Sunday, a time to remember Martin Luther and the reforms to the Roman Catholic Church that he started when he posted the 95 Theses on the church door in Wittenberg, Germany in 1517. Reforms that he felt would cut through those things that the church had added over time and return it to the simplicity of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, I hang with these Christians who happen to be Lutheran because I believe our theology, our way of talking about who we are, who God is, and how we relate to God, people, and the world best describes reality. It takes seriously our sinfulness and the power of God's mercy and love. Now, we talk about this by saying we're both saint and sinner at the same time. It takes seriously the need for God's law to bound us and to convict us of our sinfulness, and our need for God's gospel of unmerited love and forgiveness that frees us from the bondage of that sin. I was grading papers for my class with the University of Dubuque this week, and the papers were reports on one of two books. One was Basic Christianity by John Stott. The other was Misty Spirituality by Mike Yaconelli. Now, Stott was an Anglican priest and one of the founders of modern evangelicalism. He was first active in the 60s, and Basic Christianity is his case for the divinity of Jesus. It's a very logical book. It's designed to convince the head. Yaconelli was one of the pioneers in professionalizing youth ministry, served as a pastor of two small congregations in California during the 80s and 90s. Misty Spirituality describes his belief that God's desire in Jesus is to enter into the messiness of our lives and redeem it. It is a book that speaks to the heart and the emotions. Now, as I read these papers, I realized something else I loved about our theology. I love that it always calls us to be, at least mentally, moving. Luther might phrase it being reformed. See, there are times where we need the structure of understanding like Stott had, a head-oriented faith. And there are times where we need the acknowledgement of Yaconelli that life is messy, and so are we, and God meets us through Jesus in the mess. A heart-oriented faith. We need to continually ponder which word we need to hear at this moment. Because to rest in one or the other leads to a distortion of the truth Jesus embodied and came to proclaim. And this is the faith that has sustained me for 52 years. A description of a God of power and might, creator of all that exists, whose greatest show of strength was in Jesus dying on the cross. A faith that acknowledges the messiness in all of our lives, because that's why we need Jesus, and it doesn't leave us there. So if you're interested in learning more about that kind of faith, come check us out. There's always room for one more sinner in our assembly. God's blessings.